My new mantra, Anthony?
Yeah.
How about the Pittsburgh Pirates?
Oh, really?
Why not the Pirates?
Why not the Pirates?
That's my new deal. Why not the Pirates?
Well, who's pitching tonight?
That would be Randy Johnson.
Randy Johnson is pitching tonight. Everyone, I think, could agree. They love Randy Johnson.
Great pitcher.
Yes.
We bought you a present today.
Did you really?
There it is. Come on,
A little
Jimmy.
present from the boys today.
Thanks.
Why don't you open it up and tell everyone what it is?
I have a funny feeling I know what it is already.
I know you know.
Let's see. It's a blue shirt, and it's large. Good. Good, 'cause I'm losing weight.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, Johnson, number 41.
Right. It's
How nice is
it's
that?
your Yankee
Oh, that's so
Randy
nice.
Johnson
Oh,
team
terrific.
T-shirt.
That's really nice.
Please
Yeah.
don't rip it up. We
Nah, how would I?
we spent a lot of our hard-earned money on that for you.
That's nice.
Little problem yesterday.
Slightly.
Yeah. I am so pissed that I was so goddamn sleepy that I couldn't go with you guys yesterday. I never go. But I missed something
Well,
that
I
I would have
invited
loved
you,
to have
Anthony.
seen.
We every once in a while after the show, we do a little brunch somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes across the street, sometimes at the Brooklyn Diner. But we get some of the guys together and we just shoot the shit. So after the show is me, Jim Norton, and Tyson Walter from the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And we're sitting at the Brooklyn Diner, looking at the fine ladies walking by, and having some good food and some good talk. And all of a sudden, this monster walks by the window. This monster.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's ridiculous how big he is.
he really is just a monolith. And Ope looks out the window and he goes, "That's Randy Johnson." Well, and I look and I see this just the back of this head and this awful nerd shirt. It was like that, like the type of shirt you wear when you're in fourth grade. Like it had like
Really?
a red top, and then it stopped and it was white on the bottom, tucked into some like long like 6'10" man jeans. I'm like, it's not, because I figured he wanted me to run out with my camera like an ass.
Uh-huh.
Well, because we've done that before. Because we're all onto a celebrity photo thing, obviously. And
Was he alone?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, just walking down the street by himself, 57th Street, right past the Brooklyn Diner. I go, "That's Randy Johnson." And Jimmy didn't believe me at first. I'm like, "No, dude, that's Randy Johnson."
So I get my camera. I'm like, "Come on, come with me." And he's sitting there. I know he's debating.
No. I go, "Aren't you going to get your picture with Randy Johnson?"
Yes.
And then as soon as I said that, I went, "Oh, fuck." That means I have to go and take the picture.
Right. You're the photographer now.
Right.
Well, because Tyson probably wouldn't have, because he plays for another
He plays, yeah.
big team.
Well, Tyson wanted to go. Well, we'll get to the Tyson part in a while. Go ahead.
So I'm like, come on, you got to come with me, because I was gonna go run out and do it, but I needed someone. And he was like, ugh.
Of
I'm
course.
like, come on, man, just you got to do this. And he actually, he's a team player, so he.
I'm sitting there, though, debating. I'm like, oh, man. Well, no. And then I'm like, he's my friend.
You gotta go. You gotta hook the guy up.
And then I stood up and I'm like, let's go.
We walk out, and there he is walking. He's ahead of us, and Ope goes, "Dude, you got to start to run." And as we're walking,
His walk must just be like any normal person's run.
it's like the gait of a gazelle, just traipsing along.
Anthony, he looked like a normal American walking around in, like, Japan.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen those pictures every once in a
Yeah,
while?
like an average American in Japan looks like a giant.
Right, that's what he looked like on the streets of New York. He is so much taller than everyone else.
Was he
And-
just looking in second-floor windows of brownstones?
He really looked like he was like looking at a train thing, looking for Jessica Lange.
No, what makes him look taller, too, is because he's thin for a 6'10" guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like a human giraffe in a way, if you know what I mean. He's
Like
just-
that last alien that got out of the ship in Close Encounters?
Oh, very good.
Big,
yeah.
lanky
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Very
Breaking
good.
little children's hearts.
So I'm like, Jimmy, you got to run, man. He's gone.
Well, we start walking quick, and you can see Randy kind of look over his shoulder, and Ope goes, "Oh, great, he saw us." Because these guys have an instinct when they're being followed. They
course.
just know. And I'm like, I'm almost positive, like, this is really him. And then I see...
Hold on, before you go, because leading up to that, as he's walking down the sidewalk, people are yelling out from vans and stuff. Not a lot, but, not a lot. We only saw him for half a block, and at least 3 or 4 people said hi. And he was just like, he was kind of saying hi, but like, oh, God.
Like
That's
he-
what convinced me it was him, by the way, was that back view of him waving into a van. I'm like, that's definitely Randy
That's
Johnson.
him, right.
Absolutely.
Don't just wave at people because you're tall.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm tall.
Unless some homosexual from a van thought that mustache looked familiar and just waved to it. Oh, there's a gay man I've had sex with on a ladder moving quickly. Wait, one guy.
Gay porn star.
So, go ahead.
So we catch up to him on 57th. I run up to him, because he kind of ducks behind some scaffolding at the corner of 57th and 7th.
No, that would be...
or was it Broadway?
Broadway,
It was
yeah,
Broadway.
Oh.
And so I stopped, like, hey, Randy, I'm a huge Yankee fan. And he kind of looks at me, and I'm like, can I get a picture? And he said something about, the last time I did that, I couldn't... you sometimes get, like, lost when you're in a moment like that. Like, it's hard to communicate because I'm really starstruck because I'm like, this really is Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, thank you.
You didn't touch his arm and go, Ran?
I was that close to doing it. but I like the ball fields when I was a boy. I used to go,
he's a pitcher.
Anthony, he was looking straight up at Randy Johnson. I mean,
Yeah.
it looked so ridiculous because, I mean, the comparison between you and Randy Johnson, it wasn't even close.
No,
it wasn't. It was like, you look like a tiny little kid next to him.
if he would have just taken it out and said, toot on this, son, I wouldn't have had to lean forward. I could have just stood there and tooted.
Your whole body could have fit in his jeans. I'm convinced of that.
I know.
Because he has them up
He
a
was
little...
that lucky.
He has them up a little high to begin with, and you know, he's a tall guy. I think his jeans have to be close to, like, I don't know, 5 foot long minimum.
Dude,
Wow.
he's just awful. He's just 6'10", and he's like skinny with William Frawley height. Pull up the jeans.
Oh.
He's just a nerd.
He's got like the mom jeans, you know, that they joke about on
Yeah.
SNL, but the guy version.
He's just a nerd that's a great pitcher.
He said no for the picture, and I'm like, come on, man. He's like, no, thank you, no, thank you.
Well, you're like, I got the camera right
I'm
there.
like, he's got it right here because Ope was ready with the
And
camera.
he turns around, and I'm like, Joe Fan, hey, hi, here I am to take the picture.
Now, I at this point of the story here, I'm starting to get this thing what Opie should have been doing, but I understand what happened here. Now, I'm thinking Opie should have been snapping like a madman during this whole sequence, but I understand. Now, let me say, tell me if I'm right. If you started snapping, he would agree to take the picture, and because you had just snapped, there'd be a delay and there would be a problem.
See, here's the deal, Anthony. I've been in this situation with Jimmy many, many times.
Yeah.
Many times. I just assumed that he was going to get the picture. So
Following protocol.
So it's no big deal. God, if I knew the guy was going to say no, obviously I would have been, clicking away
You
like
should have been
crazy.
snapping pictures,
But
right.
for now on, when I'm in that situation, I know what I have to do
The
now.
interaction, the denial, everything. And even if they agree to take the picture, having the whole warm-up to the picture should be on file there in
Anthony,
in the
next
camera.
time I promise I'll be Ansel Adams. I'm going to be setting
You
up
gotta
all sorts
snap
of
away.
all sorts of tripods and everything. Cause
You're the guy that misses the UFO picture.
Right.
I'm like, no, here's where it was in the sky.
I am kind of bummed that I didn't start, taking pictures because just the height differential between the two, and you could tell that he was annoyed. It would have made for
the blow-off.
some great pictures.
But I didn't think of that. I didn't think, like, I wish Ope had snapped it. Like, I really didn't. Like, normally if I
we weren't thinking. We're like, it's going to be just a quick celebrity photo. We'll get back to our omelets.
What Ope was doing, I think, was the right thing in that. Is that would have been great if he would have snapped if we would have known. But what he was doing is he was prepared for a quick one and didn't want to blow it or be an annoying ass.
Right.
Snap, snap, snap. Hey, can I get a picture? Snap, snap, snap. The flash is going off on 57.
Yeah.
It might annoy him. So I'm like, he's got the camera. So if he would have turned around, Ope was completely convenient and ready to just go.
Yeah.
It would have been done in 2 seconds.
So
Ope was actually prepared and ready, which if he had been snapping away and Randy had
could have been a delay.
Could have been a problem.
Yeah, which would have been a problem.
Turned toward me, and I'm ready. That would have been a perfect photo op right there. And then all of a sudden he turned quick and said, nah. And
No, thank you.
And just took off. And that's
No,
when,
thank you.
Yeah, he was just such a dick.
That isn't something you say thank you for. No, thank you.
He just made a conscious decision to blow off a fan for a picture.
Yeah.
And I have not taken nearly as many as Randy Johnson in my life. He's probably taken more after 2 games that I've ever taken. But I've taken enough fan photos to know what's annoying and what's not. And when a guy says, can I get a picture, and there's a camera ready, and you stop and just go and snap and walk, it's never a problem.
Yeah.
Never. The only time it bothers you is when you're eating or someone stands there and yaps at you. It's like, all right, dude, you're really invading
Those
my life.
people have ruined it for you.
I
think.
Nah, not necessarily, because he knew what we were doing. He saw that the camera was ready. He knew I was just a fan. He was just being a jackass. He was just being a dick, man. Yeah, he knew.
My thought on this, I mean, you're a public figure. You got to take the picture no matter what. I mean, if he doesn't want to be bothered, then you know what? Hire some security to walk you around or something and have them be the bad guy.
Don't touch this picture. He's a legend.
But as he's walking,
get away.
He's probably walking around all day saying no to fans. Then don't pitch in New York City, especially.
Yeah, stay in Arizona or somewhere else. You're 6'10". You're having a 7-6 season so far. You should be lucky somebody's just not throwing something at you and hoping you punch him in the face for the lawsuit. I was so aggravated. It wasn't like people were mobbing him.
Right.
Where I could go, all right, man, he's got 20 people bugging him. Like when De Niro said no, I kind of understood because he was like, if I take one, man, everyone's going to ask. And there was a lot. He was in a building where everybody could have asked him.
Yeah.
He was just being a jackass. He was just being a jerk off, and I knew what he was doing. He saw Opie, he saw me, and he went, nah, no thanks, and he just walked away.
Because we were ready. It wasn't like I would have to pull out a camera and
Uh-huh.
stuff.
No, thank you.
I had the camera up like this and ready to go. I did take shots of him just walking across the street after he blew
there's a couple
off.
of shots of him in that awful shirt, just traipsing away. I was so irritated because I knew what he had just done, and I knew he did it on purpose. He just blew off a fan for a picture on purpose. And I know athletes will have horror stories about annoying fans, but I really have this just...
You should get cancer. I hope you get cancer.
I hope you get cancer. I have this hatred for athletes, man. I really
God,
do.
you know what? And I was thinking that exact scene because, you know, Jimmy all excited. Oh, my God, that's Randy Johnson, all happy, nice. He's a Yankee fan, you know. And then as soon as Randy Johnson blew him off, he was just like that old lady in King of Comedy.
All right. Well, now, after Randy Johnson starts walking away, now Jimmy's got to come back to you to get the camera and stuff. What is said during that?
He's just like, get me his stats for tomorrow's show.
I just wanted to trash him.
I couldn't call Ben fast enough. I'm like, Ben, you're not going to believe what happened.
And Ben must have just been cackling.
Oh, yeah. Hey, and Ben's so awful at teasing you, he just calls back later, hey, it's Randy Johnson. Oh, Jesus, dude.
Ben's sending out mass emails. He's calling Anthony. He's getting everyone's stats.
Chris Schilling would have given you a picture. Dude, come on.
And then Tyson Walter wanted to run out of the Brooklyn Diner and beat up Randy Johnson.
That would have been good.
Tyson's just like, what a scumbag. And he was a scumbag. He was just being an asshole, and I knew what he was doing. And it's like, dude, you wonder why nobody in New York likes you, you 7-6 motherfucker. That's why nobody likes you.
I'm comforting Jimmy all the way back to the Brooklyn Diner. It was one block, and I'm inside just going, oh.
Were you all? Did you feel all like? Were you getting all hot when he came over, like, and going like, oh no,
because the Jimmy rant is always
embarrassing.
Is always a pleasure. I was just sitting there going, this is going to be great.
But
so he joins the ranks of De Niro and Gene Simmons and Billy Crystal, right?
No, De Niro was the nicest of all of them.
Yeah, but I'm not talking if they were nice about it or anything. I'm talking about Jimmy Denials.
Yeah, he
got
joined
De Niro?
the rank of De Niro. Pure.
De Niro?
I do already have Crystal and Billy Crystal.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Eric, Ben Henderson.
And Gene Simmons. And so there's really only De Niro and now Randy Johnson.
Yeah, well, Crystal and Gene, because Crystal was a complete dick. Gene was a complete dick, and Randy was a complete dick.
Oh, that is awful.
How?
He's all bent up, too.
Yeah.
He looks like... He looks like that guy that has that giganticism disease or whatever.
You could have stopped. And I just really have this disgust for athletes, man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you owe us your lives because you do the job when you get paid for. You could stop for a shot like that. I just fucking hate them. I really do. I hate them.
You know, this shot is still worth putting on the website because
of course it is.
It's right after he rejected you, and all you see is his back as he's crossing the street.
Oh, I can't stand
away.
I wish I got you in the frame. Sorry, Jimmy.
That's not your fault, dude. You were ready to take the picture.
You know what? You post that one on the website, Whackbag, the Photoshop thread. Jimmy will end up in that frame. Mm-hmm. Guaranteed they'll Photoshop it.
It's just, what a jerk. What a fucking jerk. And he did it on purpose. He saw the camera. It wasn't in a restaurant. He wasn't with his family. You know what I mean? I can see he was with his wife and kids or something like that.
When you're just walking down the street by yourself and one fan comes up like that, sure.
Sorry, dude. You're the ace. You're the ace of the Yankees. I'm not even you're having an awful season.
Yeah. You're
6'10". You're a noticeable guy, and you've just done nothing but make an asshole out of yourself since you've been here.
Jimmy, you're the worst, man.
Why?
If you got that picture,
you'd
be praising Randy Johnson as the greatest pitcher of all time, which basically is what his stats are showing. What he's third in the all-time strikeout list.
He's the first ballot Hall of Famer. Right. The guy is one of the best pitchers of my lifetime.
Because you didn't get a picture, he's a jerk.
He is a jerk off. I would still say that he's one of the. Hey, look, Ty Cobb was a scumbag.
Yeah.
Ty Cobb was a scumbag. You know, he's probably arguably the best hitter to ever live as far as just, a pure baseball hitter. No one's knocking what Randy Johnson is a Hall of Famer. But he's just an asshole.
He is just an asshole.
And he probably doesn't care that people say that. He's just a jerk off. And it's like, you know what? Why can't you stop for a picture? What's the problem?
Yeah.
One fan can't call and say I've ever blown them off. Ever. Ever. You can't stop for fucking 2 seconds for a picture. And I'm not comparing myself to a Hall of Fame athlete. I know he gets 50 times more than I do. I understand that.
You're a celebrity, though, Jimmy.
I'm a dick joke artist from Jersey.
You're known to people, and they want to take pictures and have you sign things.
I would
so
never.
in that context, you wouldn't blow people off.
Under any, especially if it was someone that had a camera going, hey, man, just can I get a quick picture? Somebody that was obviously rational. I wasn't yelling and screaming, Randy Johnson, Randy. I should have started doing that. I should have started going, oh, my God, Randy Johnson. Holy shit. I should have done that if I had any improv skills. Yeah, because I was so annoyed.
Because the funny thing is, in New York City, you know, you get huge celebrities walking around all the time, and most people never notice that Paul McCartney is walking right next to them. Because New Yorkers just don't look around.
You don't look around.
They have tunnel vision, and there's just huge celebrities always around, especially this area. And I don't think you could be a celebrity in New York City and not take these photos when you're on the street. Yeah, simple as that. You can't. You can't walk around like you're a regular guy in New York City, even though you're a celebrity, and not take these pictures. You just can't.
Do you think maybe there were other people that just maybe were waiting? Like, if you would have taken the picture, then they would have started coming over like cockroaches.
Maybe, but again, most people don't have cameras on 57th just walking. The majority of people do not
stupid
carry
camera
cameras.
phones.
Oh, yeah, camera phones. But he was just being a dick, and he saw the camera was ready. He could have stopped it and just crossed the street immediately. He could have done it. It was right
honestly,
there, and we were
It would
ready.
have been a second.
We were absolutely
1
ready.
second.
Yeah.
Honestly, Anthony, that's a great question, but where we were situated at the time, no one really noticed what we were doing.
Yeah, it was so so ready.
Yeah, because we're under scaffolding, and it was just like no one was really looking at him at that point.
A couple people he waved to in advance, but it wasn't like anyone was behind him walking.
Yeah.
He was just being an asshole. And it's just like, I just can't stomach athletes most of the time. I really can't. Giambi was always a dick from what I heard, but then someone said he was nice. Now that he's got this whole thing going, he might have been nice all along. I never had the experience with him. But I just had this hatred of athletes in general. I really do. Dude, I cannot stand most of them. I fucking hated you in high school. You're just arrogant motherfuckers. I just can't stand the sight of it.
Not a big fan of the jock myself.
Can't stomach you.
So you think Randy's a dirtbag?
Not as a dirtbag. He was just an asshole. He was just a douche. I mean, look, the guy gave a lot of money to charity. I asked for his stats.
Damn it. That's where I was going to
No, I'm not saying he's a dirtbag.
Randy Johnson info, Anthony, made $400,000 donation to the American Red Cross tsunami relief effort.
Yeah.
Has donated more than $300,000 personally to various charities through
his
Strikeout Homelessness program.
He could have just stood there and held the children up over his head and saved them from the tsunami. Big, tall dork.
Pledges $1,000 per win and $100 per strikeout to go to groups around tri-state area.
Oh, wow.
Donated more than 3,500 pairs of Nike sneakers during holiday seasons.
Those $1,000 per win aren't
and
really
here's the
cashing
beauty.
out this season, are they?
Well,
an avid photographer who has had his work featured in Art Expo 90 in Los Angeles. Jesus Christ, dude. You're a photographer. Maybe you could have kissed me like that sailor after World War II and Opie could have snapped a photo of it. Fucking jerk.
But you would have to kiss his mule.
I wouldn't have cared. I would have.
Unless he bends down like a giraffe to try to get some water.
Dude, I'm not dishonest. I mean, I'm not saying the guy's a scumbag as a person. He was just an asshole. And it's like, I knew what he was doing publicly. He's just a dick.
5-time Cy Young Award winner.
Dude, you can't deny the guy is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
You've been blown off by the best, man.
Dude,
5-time Cy Young Award winner.
The only guy that could have blown me off that would have had an equal would have been Clemens. Would have been the only pitcher in our lifetime that we could go, wow, you know, Clemens blew me off or Randy Johnson blew me off.
Oh, good question coming in from John in Jersey. John?
Yeah, Anthony. Ty Cobb he was a total asshole. Didn't he blow you off for a photo op?
Yes. Me and Groucho, I remember. We wanted a picture with Ty Cobb, and I got blown off. God damn, John, that's funny. You stink.
Oh, come on, man. Groucho Marx, if he was alive today, would be 115, and you got a photo with him. Let's just keep acknowledging that.
What are you going to do? I was a kid. And he was at death's door.
You don't look old. I'm starting to think you have some kind of sleep chamber at your house.
There's no sleep chamber. Groucho Marx was 2 years away from death, I think in his 90s or something. And I was a kid.
Sure. Whatever.
Anthony's a vampire. He sleeps in a thing of dirt from his home country.
Boo. A vampire.
He's a vampire that hasn't worn the same shirt twice since we started here at XM, and it's really starting to freak me out.
I like to make fashion statements. Eddie, get me a shirt out of my closet. Boo.